With me now in studio is Nadav Shechter. He is the CEO of recoveriX Israel. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you, Jim.
Unfortunately, many families have to deal with the painful reality of having someone in their family who had a stroke and is going through the rehabilitation process. One painful part of suffering a stroke is that you're sharp mentally, but it's very difficult for people to communicate or to express what they want, either verbally or with their muscles. Explain kind of what you do and how it breaks radically from traditional stroke rehab.
So let's start from the beginning, yeah? So the background for stroke in Israel is about 20,000 cases a year. And among them, about a third would not survive, a third would go into advanced treatments, and a third would either survive and would probably suffer for the end of their life. Now, conventional therapy in Israel has been done for the past 50 or more years. And is covering the first year of treatment as rehabilitation. And from that point further, the Israeli state does not give rehabilitation treatment, but only preservation treatment. And this is where recoveriX is coming into picture. recoveriX is trying to approach these chronic patients that are outside this 1 year of clinical window of opportunity and harnessing the brain plasticity in order to treat them.
So what does that mean, brain plasticity?
So we know from research that the brain we are able to influence the brain activity and until the last day in Earth, till the last day of, this fact is what drives us forward. We are trying to manipulate brain activity and to stimulate cells in order to change their role and to control the upper limb.
So is that done, it's done through virtual reality? I mean, you're projecting simulations and trying to stimulate muscles? Do they respond? Do they understand what needs to be done, the muscles?
The muscles understand. So the thing is that after somebody suffered from stroke, usually is brain activity that is in charge on imagining movements still exists. And we're trying to harness this activity into what we're trying to achieve. So we're trying to tell them to imagine they are moving the arm. And if they imagine that correctly, our technology, which is based on a helmet that you wear on your head, is able to see this activity. And when we see that, we activate immediately stimulation to the arm. So you imagine your arm moving, and then after a millisecond, your arm will move the same way you imagine it, and also an avatar on screen will imitate your movement.
So it begins with someone imagining, let's say, moving their arm. With their finger, and then you stimulate electronically, so it makes it move, the impulse moves.
Yeah.
But eventually, then the body on its own connects the two? Is that the...
Exactly.
So how do you bridge that gap?
So we know also from research that if you repeatedly giving feedback to neuronal activity in your brain, eventually, these neurons, these brain cells that are activating would connect into an alternative synaptic network. And this network, we hope, and we show it in our clinics, would eventually control your arms and help you bypass the dead cells that died in the stroke.
So is it easier to do it, to learn this rehabilitation with the arms compared to the legs, compared to a finger versus... explain the different muscle groups.
We're still not working on legs. Legs is still under research in Austria. So what we do in Israel, we implemented the arm. The arm is already researched, and we have very nice findings. And it's from my patients, they're saying this is the most difficult rehabilitation they are going through. It demands a full 1 hour of totally concentration. You cannot run away. You have to concentrate in either your right imaginary movement or the left imagery movement, and you cannot go away.
Really incredible and radical new technology being brought here to Israel. The CEO of recoveriX, Nadav Shechter, thank you so much for being with us and explaining the research and the work that you do.
With pleasure.